Good morning again. We're going to start our festivities. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Todd Gilliard. I am the project director of the Missouri Minority Business Development Agency Business Center located in St. Louis. And I'd like to welcome you to our second annual Tribute to Women Business Leaders Brunch. Let us give a round of applause. Also, I would like to thank our sponsors this morning for making it happen. Maryville University, Regions Bank, Annie Malone Children's Home and Family Services, St. Louis Development Corporation, Washington University, Office of Supplier Diversity, Shannon Norman Coaching and Counseling, UAW LATC, and McKinney Group Wealth. Let's give them a round of applause, if you will. Thank you. The Missouri Minority Business Development Agency Business Center is operated by the Chicago Supplier Minority Development Council. It is a network of agencies that help minority businesses achieve here in the United States and across the country. The center works with minority-based businesses, enterprises to gain access to financial opportunities, contract opportunities, and to increase job retention. The mission of the center is to strengthen the U.S. economy by helping economic growth with minority-based businesses, creating and retaining jobs, building economic development, social responsibility of the enterprises of their company, and helping their company grow. At this time, I would like to have a greeting from Rona Forte, who is the Chicago Minority Supplier Chairman of the Board. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Rona Forte, and I serve as board chair of the Chicago Minority Supplier Development Council. The Chicago Minority Supplier Development Council has a rich 55-year legacy in minority business development and serves as the operator of the Missouri Minority Business Development Agency Business Center. It is with great pride that we celebrate Women's History Month with all of you at a Tribute to Women's Leaders Brunch. I would like to personally congratulate the distinguished women who are being honored here today. Maureen Brinkley, Dr. Kimberly Betty, Corey Elliott, Carmen Jacob, Joanna Jones, Keisha Lee, and Dr. Tiffany Slater. Your accomplishments are truly amazing, and you are both role models and an inspiration to us all. I wish you nothing but continued success as women leaders. Now please enjoy the brunch.
Next, I would like to introduce the mistress of ceremony. Her name is Anika Porter. Anika Porter is the CEO of Lifespirations. Anika has worked with the Minority Business Development Agency for the past 2 years in this event, in this capacity. And so at this time, I would like to bring up Ms. Anika Porter, CEO of Lifespirations.
There are 2,726 women-owned firms in St. Louis. 45.2 of the local startup firms are owned by women. Yes, local women-owned startup firms boast gross sales receipts for $150 million to $500 million. Woo! St. Louis is #1 in the nation in terms of female entrepreneurship. And since we're talking about first, for the first time in the history of the city of St. Louis, we have the first African-American female mayor, Tashara Jones. Woo! So what does that basically mean? That means that you are in the right place at the right time, doing the right thing. In this room, in this moment, inside of every woman is something so profound and so powerful. And you have the power to not give up. Ooh-wee! It's been a rough 18 months, has it, ladies? You have the power inside of you not to give up. You have the power to level up. You have the power to rise up. I speak to every gift that lays dormant on the inside of you, and I command activation. Ladies, you will be promoted. You will be granted the contract. You will be respected. You will be valued. You will win. Thank you. Now, at this time, let's give it up for Todd for hosting this amazing event and honoring us. Yes. Okay, good morning, ladies. I hope that you've enjoyed the morning motivation. And now at this time, I would like to present to you an amazing young lady who is currently she serves as the youth poet in resident for the St. Louis Herb Arts Program. Here to bring us an inspirational poetry, let's give a warm welcome to Miss Kaylin McCoy.
Hey everyone. Good morning or good afternoon. I'm not sure what time it is actually. Well, I already got an introduction. I'm Kaylin McCoy. I'm youth poet and resident at Herb Arts, which basically means I've competed a bunch of times at an international level, but now I'm too old to compete at international, so they kind of just gave me this title. But you'll see me around. I've done stuff with the Pulitzer Arts Foundation. I've done stuff with the St. Louis Opera Theater. And during the summer, I'm usually around a lot. So hopefully, I'll see some of you guys again. For as long as I can remember, I have gotten up extra early to get dressed. Because to me, an outfit can be the difference between a good day and a bad one, and people have always tried to make me feel bad about that. Like just because I can name Coco Chanel, Gianni Versace, Vera Wang, and Teflar Clemens, that I am somehow superficial, vapid, or stupid. But please refrain from making negative comments about my attire because I am not just a little girl playing dress up, but a young woman who wears white in solidarity because I know it took nearly 100 years for women to get the right to vote, and an extra 60 for my grandmother because a suffragette's clothing was truly a fashion statement. Yellow for hope, purple for loyalty, and white for purity, and when men defiled it, women in Hollywood adorned black. In mourning, in strength, in resistance, I first learned militance when I read about the Black Panther Party. As Miss Angela Davis would put it, the intersection of blackness, fashion, politics, and justice donned in all black cause black is power, black is protection, black is unity, in those A-line skirts, in those black turtlenecks and berets. So don't berate me when I say it does matter how you look, how you present yourself. Because MLK said we don't just wear our tailor suits on Sundays. Black people are the antithesis of everything they say. Our clothing, a juxtaposition to their brutality. It was media savvy because you know what doesn't look good on the 5 o'clock news? Beating a black woman wearing a dress or a black man wearing a suit. So sue me for taking pride in the clothes that I wear, because it used to be a protest for women to wear jeans or short skirts, stuffing blazers with shoulder pads in the 80s so men would take us seriously at work. We weaponized fashion. So of course you deem it superficial and vapid. It wasn't about you. It doesn't cater to you. It was never for you. And so sue me for wearing Black Lives Matter shirts or short skirts, and I will not let creepy old misogynistic men make me feel uncomfortable, because yes, I can name fashion designers, but I can also name Ida B. Wells, Angela Davis, Amy Hunter, Anika D. Porter, Maureen Brinkley, Dr. Kimberly Beatty, Corey Elliott, Carmen Jacob, Joanna R. Jones, Keisha Lee, and Dr. Tiffany E. Slater. And every morning when I wake up extra early to get dressed, I'll look in the mirror and say, Kaylin, you're gonna make history. And just like those before you, you'll look good doing it. Thank you.
Wasn't that powerful? Give it up for Kaylin. Great job, Kaylin. At this time, we're going to call Dr. Alan K. Green, the Chief Financial Officer of the Missouri MBDA. Alan, here he is. Welcome, Alan.
Good morning again. No, we can do better than that. Good morning again. All righty. For those who do not know, besides having a financial background, I'm also in the ministry, so when I say good morning, it means good morning. Did we wake up this morning? I don't know. Some of you all didn't wake up yet. All right, let's see. Good morning over here. Thank you. Good morning over here. Thank you. What a glorious morning. All righty, we want to recognize our dignitaries, those that, again, have held office in the past, maybe hold office right now. Could be anywhere from an alderman to a state rep to a former controller, committee person. Can we have our dignitaries stand, please? I know we have some in here. Come on now. There you go. There you go. Don't we have a committee woman in here? There we go, right in front of me. And I thank you all for taking the time to be here, because it's so important, so important. Again, this is a glorious, glorious day. I have to make one more comment. I'm going to step off the stage. Is this room beautiful? I don't know. Some people put their head down when they said that. Is this room beautiful? Thank you, thank you, thank you, and good morning.
Great job, Alan. Let's give him another round of applause. At this time, I would like to call Todd Gilliard to join me on stage to honor the Stellar Achievers. Okay, the first woman business leader that we would like to showcase today is Maureen Brinkley, the District Director of the St. Louis Office of the Small Business Administration. Please roll the video.
Maureen Brinkley is a true champion and an advocate for small business. Some of her phenomenal achievements include launching and leading the largest small business administration's one-stop capital shops in the nation. She was the lead on a team that rewrote the standard operating procedures that govern the execution of the 8A Business Development Program, which was instrumental in bringing worldwide technology into the 8A program in 1992. Today, Worldwide Technology is the largest African-American owned company in America. Maureen is the epitome of hard work. She began her career at the Small Business Administration in 1967 as an administrative clerk. In January 2017, she was appointed District Director for the St. Louis office, which oversees SBA program delivery in the 54 counties that comprise the eastern half of Missouri. She is the first woman to hold that position. The Minority Business Development Agency is proud to recognize and honor Maureen Brinkley as a 2022 Woman Business Leader.
Unfortunately, Ms. Brinkley is unable to attend, but we'll make sure she receives her gift. Next, we would like to honor Dr. Kimberly Beatty, the Chancellor of Metropolitan Community College of Kansas City. Please roll the video.
You know, I actually didn't make a conscious decision to go into education. It happened naturally, it just emerged. I went to college, I went to an HBCU. I was planning to go to law school. And then I didn't get in. I took the LSAT and blew it. Even with affirmative action, my score was so low, there was nothing was gonna happen for me. So here I was, a senior, I had no other plan. And because I had amazing faculty and directors who wrapped their arms around me and saw my name on the graduate list, put me in for graduate school without me wanting to go and applying myself, and found out I had a graduate education paid for in English, where I was a graduate assistant, and then the rest is history. I come to work every day to support a great team and a great institution. I provide the guidance and visionary leadership of the entire institution, make sure our vision for our strategic plan comes to reality, interact with the community a whole lot. Right now we're in the middle of a campaign, so I do a lot of donor visits and campaigning. We had the governor here yesterday, hosting the governor and meeting with state and national officials to help them to understand the good news of Metropolitan Community College and how we serve the community. It's been a long time coming for African American women to get into leadership roles. I'm a perfect example in that in the 105-year history of this institution, I'm the first African American woman to lead the institution. Well, I'm the first African American to lead the institution. We're seeing, I think, more of a trend of women coming into leadership roles because we're seeing women breaking those ceilings. So in the same way, little girls are looking at women like myself and seeing that it's possible. And that's why it's so important that as women, that we turn around and we reach back and we give back and we mentor and we continue to feed into the next generation so we can keep that momentum going. I want to thank MBDA for acknowledging the hard work that we have done here at Metropolitan Community College, and I am personally humbled by the recognition. Thanks again.
I have to say something about Dr. Beatty. As she came in today, she looked and like, how did you find me? You know, like, and it was amazing. She said her husband said the same thing. And I said, when you are working and your work is great, it is seen. And you might not know that your work is being seen, but it's being seen, what you're doing. And I say, you were doing great work. And so you're being celebrated for your greatness, for simply working. And so with that being said, Dr. Beatty, will you please come?
Well, those guys came down and took that video, and when I sit there and look at my journey, I still get misty-eyed. Well, thank you for the honor. Thank you for the honor, and the work that we do as women is very important, but the work we do in reaching back and supporting diverse suppliers is equally important. Metropolitan Community College just did a $46 million project where a lot of that was an investment in our urban core, and I'm real proud to say that 34% of the construction work and all the work that went into those projects were from diverse suppliers, and not just women, but Black suppliers in our city. As a college, since I've been there, we've developed a framework to make sure that we are not just looking at the subs that come out of projects that are diverse suppliers, but that we empower our diverse suppliers in Kansas City. We hold workshops, we do the training to make sure, in terms of that certification that we were talking about, that they can do that certification and that they know how to compete for the RFPs. If you have a large business or whether you have a small business, I just charge you to reach back, continue to help people, continue to help businesses, continue to help the people that look like us, because like he said, I've just been doing this because I think it's what we should do, and it just so happens to be great work. Thank you again for the honor.
Let's give it up again for Dr. Beatty. Congratulations, Dr. Beatty. At this time, we're going to bring back to the stage Dr. Alan K. Green.
This time, excuse me, I have the honor of presenting someone that it's difficult. Todd asked me to write something, and I started thinking about, how do I write about Corey Elliott? How do I write about CMT Roofing that's doing some marvelous things? 10 years ago, most people in here are business owners. I'm also a business owner, and I'm also with MBDA. But 12 years ago, I started my own business in finance and bonding, and CMT was one of my clients, and still one of my clients. That's when I started thinking about, what can I say about CMT and Corey Elliott? Because I remember the beginnings when I wrote their first bond, and she bid it on projects. And I've seen this company grow over the years. But I know even more about Corey Elliott because, see, when you reach out and touch a client and you watch a client grow, it develops a relationship there. And so we honor you today. We honor your business today. Can we give her a hand? And we're going to invite her up in a second. I've seen her move from office to office. I've seen her expand. I've seen her grow with different divisions of her company. I've seen her expand into Chicago. What can I say? She's a mother. I could tell you about that. I could. She's also a daughter. I know her mom. I could tell you about that. I could tell you about many different aspects of this wonderful lady, but I'm going to have her come up and tell her story a little bit. So let's invite her up here. Thank you.
And why am I holding it? You should hold it. It's yours. I want one. No, let's not.
So the one thing Alan didn't say about me is that I am a person of faith. And so being a business owner is a lonely endeavor a lot of days. And you all get to see the awards and the positive things, but you don't see the hard days. And the harder days and the harder days. And so I remember Alan going to see him preach. And I'm not going to get the verse right, I'm sorry. But, you know, one day at a time, and I worry a lot. And he said, you know, there's a phrase in the Bible that talks about, like, don't worry about tomorrow, there's enough worry about today. And so he always says, just take it one day at a time. And so when I'm on those bad days, I just focus on the one day at a time. I said on New Year's Eve that 2022 was the year of women. And as we continue to see every single day that it is the year of women, I am a woman who believes in empowering other women, loving on other women, thanking other women for being able to stand on this stage, because I know if not for them, then not for me. And I hope that my life and my example and my company and my career, wherever it goes, is an inspiration to other women. I will hold your hand. I will give you the truth. Sometimes y'all don't like that. But it's all in love. And I just want to say, MBDA, thank you for this award. I've had a long, interesting relationship with MBDA. Used to be Minority Business Council and MBDA. But today, I'm honored that you all have honored me, and thank you.
Congratulations, Corey.
I started my career in healthcare. I was a operations vice president for a national healthcare organization. I was there for 17 years. After graduate school, I'm a St. Louis person, so I went to St. Louis University for undergrad, Washington University for graduate school, and received a master's in health administration, master's in human resources. In 2012, I really decided, actually probably about 2010, I really decided that I really wanted to pivot out of healthcare into something else, and really just found a really nice niche in construction. And so the construction for me was a nice pivot. It was something very different. I started the business on January 12th of 2012, and so now it's 22, February of 22, so I've been in business 10 years now. It's a very recent project, so the Delmar Divine project that Maxine Clark has created really to address the divide in St. Louis. We did abatement and demolition on the second phase of that. We are currently at what's going to be the 21C Hotel, old YMCA. And then through Intellica, we have been on the 300 South Broadway project. We'll also be part of the NGA project as well. There's a sense of pride amongst my team anyway, that they work for a minority woman-owned company. I mean, and our field team is very, very diverse. I mean, it's almost 50-50, and it's been consistently that on purpose. And what I try to do is really talk to other women that are in this space, because one of my goals is, we're 4% of the entire construction industry. So one of my life goals is to get more women into construction. So how I do that is really try to talk, mentor, and then bring others under the wing. So when they are experiencing challenges and issues, they have someone that they can talk to. When I got the call about being honored or asking if I would accept the honor, I was absolutely excited and so happy to be honored amongst women that I know and respect in the community. And interestingly enough, there are two of them that I've actually been honored next to previously. So it's very, very nice to continue to have that recognition from the community.
Congratulations again, Corey. Next, we will honor Ms. Carmen Jacob, the President and CEO of Next Gen Information Services. Please roll the video.
In 1997, Carmen Jacob launched a company that would quickly become a premier talent engagement firm. Next Gen Information Services is a multifaceted company dedicated to building a professional workforce and a productive workplace environment for the quickly changing high-tech business world in a diverse society. Carmen Jacob oversees a company that helps connect people and technology across the globe. With its international reach, NextGen supports emerging tech organizations, small businesses, and Fortune 500 companies with the best and brightest talent in IT and professional services. The Missouri Minority and Business Development Agency is proud to recognize Carmen Jacob as one of its 2022 honorees.
Let's give it up for Carmen Jacob. And unfortunately, Miss Jacob is unable to attend today, but we'll make sure she receives her award and her gift. Next, we have a young lady that I've known personally for probably over 20 years, and Angelia and I, give it up for the staff of the MBDA. They just did an amazing job planning this event with Todd, Angelia Bills, Coach Melanie. So Angelia and I jumped out on faith, you know. Hi, Amy. I'm so glad to see her. So Angelia and I jumped out on faith and started our businesses, and we partnered up together, and then we rented office space in Clayton, and then we started pitching, and we got denied over and over and over again. And we didn't know what we were going to do, but just like Corey, we had some faith. And so we called on this next lady, Dr. Johanna Jones, who is the president and CEO of Information Technology Senior Management Forum. And she gave us a contract that lasted over a year and a half and helped us through the coronavirus, helped us through the pandemic, and she really practices what she preaches. She empowers women, and she's very special to me.
Yeah, I love Johanna. I had my own consulting company, and we had met, and this is when she was over workforce development with SIUE, and she brought me in, and she pitched me to work, and I was like, no. And it's funny, she calls me back to another meeting, and in that meeting was another young lady who was here sitting at the table with her. And they were like, well, we want you to do this and this. And I was like, nah, I don't know, this and this and this. I'm going back and forth. And this young lady says, come on, Todd. her and Johanna in the room with them. They're like, come on, Todd, quit playing. This and this and this and this. Needless to say, I signed, you know, because I didn't know if I was going to make it out of the room. But truly, she is an amazing woman, and her heart is seen. The way she speaks to you, the way we interacted, and I just really got to know her just by working for her. And it was just wonderful. So I am excited to be able to honor her as one of the women business leaders, because she truly is lead and give you that opportunity and encouraging. So it is an honor. Roll the video, please.
How I got to ITSMF is an amazing story. So I've spent the last 25 years, working in nonprofit organizations. I was an executive at a local nonprofit organization that was doing great work. And in the back of my mind, I started thinking about what's next for me. A search firm reached out to me on LinkedIn. And as soon as I heard the mission of the organization, I thought, wow, this is a perfect alignment of my passion, my talent, and ultimately what I think I'm put here to do. IT Senior Management Forum is a national organization. We're headquartered in Atlanta, but 100% of our staff are remote. I have the good fortune of working for an organization that was remote before COVID. I do a lot of traveling across the country and frequently to Atlanta. IT Senior Management Forum was founded 25 years ago by a group of Black senior technology professionals in Atlanta who are working in Fortune 500 companies. And they looked around and thought, why are we the only ones? We shouldn't be the only ones. Let's create an organization whose purpose is to make sure that African Americans are represented in the senior-most positions in technology in Fortune 500 companies. the type of jobs that we prepare college students and leaders for are often the jobs that you won't see posted online. They're the executive leadership jobs where someone in your network gives you a call and says, look, I think you're the right person for this opportunity. Fortune 500 companies that are investing in women and women of color are perceived as innovative, and it actually helps their bottom line. Show me a company that has invested in leaders of color and in women, and I'll show you a company that has a strong bottom line, has innovation, and has tremendous growth. Receiving this award is actually one of the highlights of my professional opportunity. I am so thankful and appreciative for this opportunity and looking forward to amazing opportunities to continue to partner with the MBDA in the future. So thank you so much for this wonderful award and this wonderful opportunity.
Help me in welcoming Dr. Johanna Jones.
This is just an amazing opportunity. I just have to say that some of the best leadership advice I've ever received was surround yourself with people whose dreams for you are bigger than the dreams that you have for yourself. And today I am surrounded by love. I see my beautiful family, my sweet dear baby brother, my husband, my friends, my in-laws, my church family. I see my sorority sisters, fellow business owners, and it's just an honor. Maya Angelou said, I come as one and I stand as 10,000. Today, I have to dedicate this award to my late grandmother, Lucille Strong. She had an 8th grade education. She was a 16-year-old mother, but she was the best business teacher that I've ever known. She had a global vision. She was creative. She could sell ideas. She could get anybody to do anything. And she said to me, I don't care how many fancy degrees you have, how fancy your clothes are, and what your title is, but you're nothing if you can't treat people with dignity and respect. So this award I dedicate this to my late grandmother, and thank you to the MBDA. Thank you to Anika Porter and Lifespirations, Angelia Elliott, Eagle Productions, and all of the honorees and fellow business owners here today. Thank you.
Let's give it up again for Dr. Johanna Jones. Wow, and this next woman is an amazing woman. From the very first time I met her, I knew she was destined for greatness. And she won't mind me sharing this, but she was at the time struggling with cancer. And I would go to the ER and see her. We would pray together. And we would go through the journey together. And I would tell her, keep your eyes on the prize. And she is now the interim CEO of Annie Malone. But we have an amazing Annie Malone family. With the Annie Malone family stand up, we have the board chair, Mr. Gary Hawkins, please stand up. We have Alderwoman Pam Boyd, who is a board member. We have Melvie, who has been there from day one. We have Jossie, who is a board member. We have the staff here. We have Terrence. We are so glad to have you. We have Eddie. This is an amazing family. We work hard behind the scenes to make Annie Malone Pop, and just a senseless plug, I'm sorry, you all are invited to Annie Malone May Day weekend. Please go to anniemalone.com for more information. So, and I'm just so excited for you, Keisha. Oh, and Keisha's family, please stand up. Oh my gosh, she has an amazing family. She's probably got half the room. We are glad to have you. Thank you for your support and love of Keisha. She is amazing. And Todd wants to say something about Keisha as well.
Thank you, I appreciate that. No, she is an amazing woman. You know, and I met Keisha, and I was just taken back. We talked at the 100 Black Men event, and she introduced herself, and I'm like, wait a minute, we're honoring you. That was the first time that I'm like, we're honoring you. And she's like, yeah. But she was telling my story, and she's like, I surprised you, didn't I? I ain't got no hair. But it was at that time, because what was so inspiring is that my mom was going through cancer as well. Wow. And she was losing her hair. And in that moment, what you don't know is that having that conversation with you and talking to you and seeing just how vibrant you was and how of a champion you was gave me hope, because my mom was in the hospital and she was struggling with it. And so I left that event thinking with you on my mind and saying, Mom, you're gonna be all right. And I just wanna thank you for that. You don't know that, but that was just a wonderful, it really, really touched me. And I just wanted you to know that. You're an amazing person, you're doing amazing work. And Annie Malone, I'm just so excited for the parade. I used to, when I was younger, and I was in the fraternity, we used to step in it and all this stuff. I don't think I can, you know, I can skip, ride a bike or something, but I ain't stepping no more. But I want to thank you, and I told you I had a surprise for you, right? Can you roll that?
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is John Bowman. I am president of NAACP St. Louis County, as well as a proud board member of Annie Malone Family and Children's Services. It is truly an honor, and I'm extremely excited about introducing to some and presenting to others one of this year's Women in Business awardees, Ms. Keisha Lee, our new interim CEO at Annie Malone. Keisha Lee brings a wealth of compassion and tenacity and energy to this organization that is going to lead us forward in a dynamic way that we are so much in need of. I am just truly, truly excited about her vision, and we are supporting her here as board members at Annie Malone at where she's going to take this organization in the future. Congratulations, Keisha.
I was in corporate for a while with Enterprise Holdings, and I was looking for purpose. I joined the board here when I was still at Enterprise, and then I was like, I want to do more. It's more, I need to find my purpose, you know, that life struggle. And I was getting ready to roll off the board, and Cozy Marks at the time was the board chair, and they were like, no, we need you to stay inside. We need you to go inside to help out with some things. So then I came on inside, came in as the director of administration, then chief operating officer, and here I am today. Annie Malone is known for a children's organization. Well, if you take a look around our community, it's not just children. It's grandparents, it's parents, it's the whole family that we're taking care of. That's why we have wraparound services. I would say the challenges is staying ahead of or reinventing Annie Malone each year and staying ahead of the unforeseen. Like, their needs are not the same as they were 10 years ago. Just different ways of reaching them and also being able to serve them. I think that's the challenge right there. And not just the children, but the families. When they do drives for coats and stuff, well, you know, teenagers don't wear coats anymore. They want to be hip with their hoods and stuff like that. So now you give them 2 hoods and a thermal or whatever it takes. I was diagnosed with breast cancer back in 2019. December, and then I had a bilateral mastectomy done in February of the 2020. So that's when a pandemic hit right in March, right? So I went through that first surgery, but since then I've had 5. I had 1 surgery, the first one with all of my family in the room, but after that my family couldn't be in the room. It was just me. It was a struggle, like mentally, but having a purpose to get up and to keep going really helped along the way. It really did. it's a privilege to be honored, but to know that other African American women who are doing a thing out here said, what about Keisha Lee? That's just like, wow, you thought about me? Like, I don't think about me in that way, but it's like, wow, me? And I were told they may have to give 2 tickets, and the first thing I thought of was my mother and my daughter, because I want my mother to see me get this, but my daughter to see me too, because it goes both ways. It's just a privilege and an honor to be amongst these women who have achieved so much, and it's like, really? You want me, Keisha Lee? So it's awesome.
Miss Keisha Lee, CEO of Annie Malone Children and Family Services.
Hi. While seeing that video and the struggle with cancer and everything, but first I want to thank the MBDA and just everybody that's in this room. And if you know me, I'm very transparent. So when I was just like, wow, me, it's really wow me. I'm just honored to be here, and I think it's a privilege to be amongst all of you and the other women that are being awarded today. I'm still in awe, like starstruck about these women. It's just phenomenal. And so finding purpose is important because it was a mental struggle going through what I went through. And I prayed for purpose. And you gotta kind of watch what you ask God for, because he'll give it to you, right? But I remember when it was days when I was crying to my mother, crying to my husband and my daughter, when I was just like, why me? And I remember I've had my hair cut before, but when it all came out, I went straight to my mother and my father over there, and I cried. And my mom's like, but you're beautiful, but it was forcing me to do it, and it wasn't my choice, and I'm very strong about my choice. So that, and then I remember through all the surgeries, I was down so low, and I felt like everything that made me a woman was being taken out of me. And that's a really low feeling. It was overwhelming. But I thank God that I have my mother, my aunts, my cousins, my child, my baby to look at me and keep going, and the people that I work with, and then my board members and all the women that were up here today, looking at you guys and like, it's always someone else in a different position. And I had that fight in me. I thank Annie Malone, because one thing about me is I'm like, if I don't show up, then who's gonna do it? And my heart is so heavy right now being here, even though I'm being honored today, is because this past week and just last night, we have babies being killed with guns. And how did they get access to it? And the Annie Malone, whatever's out there, we take those kids. We take those tough kids. So when everybody else shy away from them, they come to us. And it's a part of me that feel like, dang, if I could have just had that baby in care with me or somebody like that. We had a kid shot right outside my window a couple weeks ago, and I kept thinking, if that baby could have just made it to this door. Remember, I prayed for purpose, and God gave it to me. So just having that inside of me to keep going, and I tell everybody, you see me on TV, and I ain't worried about that. It's okay, it's cute, but I got more to do. I have more to do, especially inside of the Annie Malone, but just for the community. And that wraparound service is important, because we talk about the kids last night that was killed playing with guns, and the kids before then. You can treat that kid, help that kid, but you have to figure out what's going on in that home. Because then how did the kid get access to the gun, this and that? And I'm not speaking on that situation, but I'm telling you, it's the wraparound services. You can't treat that kid until you treat the whole family. You can't. And I know people have heard me say this before, but when we had a child, we send food home on the weekends and send food home to a kid, and I got a call Sunday morning on my way to church and said, this child is missing. The teacher called me, and I said, okay, let's go find this baby. We found him. He had been going house to house. He's in our school, but had been going house to house looking for food. And I said, we sent a bag of food home with you for the weekend like we always do. He said, everybody ate the food up for me. So instead of going to buy him food,
We went grocery shopping for the whole house. Come on, we gonna feed everybody. So as I stand here before my family, like, thank you guys for the support. I'm so bossy. And they take it and they support me and my staff too. And I'm a board member support and stuff. My baby, this means so much to have her standing right there. When everybody else's video was playing, I was watching her looking like, yes, that's my baby right there. You see, soak up all this goodness. And Mama, thank you. And to my husband, thank you. You guys had to wash me up when I couldn't get up. And look at me now. I'm a testimony. I believe in God. This is God right here. Nothing but God. And my sister and my brother and my other sister not here, but that's love. That's what it takes. That's it. And that purpose from God and love and everybody else in this room. I thank you. And I didn't know about your mom. But when I come to people, I have a genuine heart. That's it. There's no hidden motives because we have to help the whole entire community. That's what it's about. People call and say, or do you work with this person? Listen, I'm working with anybody who want to help this community and these kids. That's all I'm about. So I thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And just thank you. That's it. Thank you.
So now you know why your sponsorship is so important. Your donation is so important. AnnieMalone.com. Give it up again for Keisha Lee. Okay, last but certainly not least, we would like to honor Dr. Tiffany Slater, the president and CEO of HR Tailor Made. Please roll the video.
I was in a job that wasn't bringing me joy anymore, and so I quit. And I needed to do something. And so I've only done HR for my entire professional career, and I decided I needed to utilize those skills. And so that's how HR Tailor Made came about. The HR Tailor Made business model is different than the normal human resources model because we don't sit in a particular business. We are a virtual team of human resources professionals that serve as the human resources department for small organizations, be it small businesses or nonprofit organizations.
Most of my clients say I can't afford small business HR. I say you can't not afford small business HR. And Tiffany brings that to the table every day.
The list of all of the HR things that are possible in a traditional HR department, we still do those things for our organizations as well, our clients, our family. Our clients are in Missouri, of course. We have clients in Georgia, Washington, Colorado, and California. We've worked in Illinois, we've worked in Texas, we've also worked in Puerto Rico. The legacy that I want to leave is I want to make the world a better place, one employee at a time. And the only way that I can do that is to be an employer and to help other employers to do what's right by their team. When I was notified that I was being honored, I think I was in a little bit of shock because I'm like, wait a minute, is he talking to the right person? I know I'm on screen. I know he can see my face, but clearly he is not talking about me. Because I think what a lot of women do is we wonder, why me? Like, what did I do that was so special? And I have to say that I have grown in that I do believe that what I'm doing is something special. Yet I haven't crossed that bridge yet to accept the fact that it is worthy of being honored. So I can say that I am truly blessed, abundantly blessed to be in this position at this time in my life. And I believe that I am also, as a result of that, able to show up for other women in ways that I may not have been able to show up in another time in my life.
Amazing. So I guess I'm the guy she's talking about. So I just want to express to you guys how this ecosystem work of MBDA, right? Let me tell you about this ecosystem that we have here with our clients. The one thing that we always try to express is that every minority business, every client is growing no matter what every day, that we're working to try to help solve problems, get needs done, and this and that. But let me tell you how this thin line of this ecosystem works. Maryville University reached out. We were on the phone talking about this program for minority businesses, for businesses in general. But what can they do to come in and help businesses? Where can we plug the gaps? Where are businesses hurting? What more that we can do in education-wise in this field to educate businesses? Maryville University reached out, and I'm like, okay, let's work. They brought this digital divide certification to me. They say, we're going to invest in MBDA, and we're going to invest in the clients, right? So they come in and they say, listen, we're going to get them scholarships, and we're going to do this. The first person that came to my mind was Tiffany, off of a conversation with her, when we were having that discussion about her company, and this is what I like about it, Tiffany. Tiffany was so thorough. You know, people that know me, I like to be really down to earth. I don't, you know, don't let nothing fool you. I'll be like, hey, what's up in a minute? And that's me. So I'm on the phone with her and I'm like, yeah, you know, MBDA, we doing this. And she's, yes, and this and this and this. And she's talking and I'm just like, she sent the email and she was followed up with everything. But when we got to talking about her passion for what she does and why she does it, it blew me away. But this ecosystem, right? Let's get back to the ecosystem. So I connected with this class, and I'm like, I connected with Maryville, and she goes through this class. So I follow up. Let's make sure we're getting value for what we're doing here, right? She says to me, she says, you know what? It's good stuff. She's like, I'm learning the analytics of my website, and so I understand what the guy talking about when we talk to him. That's an ecosystem that works to advance minority-based businesses every time, no matter what. And when it all was said and done, we saw business begin to grow for her. And so that's, you know, at its essence, that's what MBDA is. And that's what we try to do. But I am so just proud of how Tiffany, just that one conversation with her and imputing some things and working with her, just seeing her business take off, and really, we just like this, looking, what can we do now? And so I'm so proud of you, Tiffany, for what you have done with TaylorMade. And I told you, and I joked with her, I said, TaylorMade, I like that because those are my clubs. I'm a TaylorMade man, right? And I joke with that. And so I'm excited. And on top of that, and I'll add to the caveat, her husband is my new golfing partner now. He's going to show me some things. Tiffany, please come.
So I'm not like everybody else. I had to write my stuff down. I am in awe of that woman that was on the screen, because I still don't believe that she is me, and that MBDA saw me. So thank you for seeing all of us women business owners and women leaders. One of the things that I don't think that we know or pay enough attention to is that small businesses employ more people than all of the Fortune 500s. So what's important about the work that MBDA does is that they help us, the small businesses, to continue to employ people, to create opportunities for people, and to build communities. And I would be remiss if I didn't thank all of the organizations that helped me get here. That is Grace Hills Women's Business Center. Thank you, Dr. Alice Herndon, for being an amazing executive director. That is still my coach, friend, birthday twin, all of those things wrapped into one. So thank you for just wrapping me up and supporting me. Greater STL, the Diverse Business Accelerator Program that I was a part of, that is run by Lakeisha Mathis and Val Patton. I feel like I'm ignoring you all over here. And then also the Small Business Empowerment Center that is run by Kevin Wilson. All of these organizations have given me an opportunity to grow as a person, to grow as a business owner, and they also have been very helpful in helping me to be successful. And they don't just get you there and leave you. They continue to follow up with you and try to give you all of the resources that you need to continue to grow and be successful. I'm so passionate about what I do because I believe that every person deserves to have a job that they love, and that also allows them or affords them the opportunity to live the life that they long for, and that they dream of. I believe that everybody in this room deserves that. So that is why I believe that it is important that we continue to pour into small businesses, specifically, I'm gonna just put a plug in here for all the women, but specifically female-owned small businesses is so important. So thank you. I want to thank the people that have come to support me, my ride or dies, all the people that show up for me every single time that I have anything. If I tell them that I'm skipping down the street, they're gonna show up. So will all of my people stand up, please? Thank you, and I have just a little something that I'm just gonna read. I wanna thank my mother and my godmother for showing me what women business owners look like when they are raising their families, when they are loving on their husbands, when they are holding down a full-time job, and when they are trying to take care of themselves. They showed me how it is possible to be a business owner and do all of those things and do them all well. So thank you, Mommy and Pat, my God, I call them my OGs. I don't know if they know that, but. And special thanks to my husband. My husband is my best friend. He is my tear wiper, my joker, all of the things. We have so much fun together, and without saying it, I know that he has my back. I know that he loves me, and I know that he supports me. So doing what I do is easier because I know that he's there to support me. So thank you for that. I want to thank my besties, my sisters. I have so many sisters, y'all. And they just love me, and I love each and every one of you. Sakita, thank you for coming from Chicago. Keisha, Jay, Jordy, my little cousin, Alicia, my Savannah. I don't want to miss anybody. Cynthia, my Delta friend. I have to put that out there. Alicia and Tracy and my niece, Brene. My niece is just one of my favorite people, y'all. My bestie, Lanita, and my brother-in-law, Tim, and my daddy, Bobby. Thank you for coming. I am so blessed to be here. And I thank you all for listening to my speech.
Let's give it up again for her. She understood the assignment, didn't she? Okay, I would like to introduce to some and present to others our keynote speaker of the hour, Miss Amy Hunter, the Vice President of Global Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion for Caleres. Amy A. Hunter is currently the Vice President of Global Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion for publicly traded Caleres. She recently joined Caleres' team after serving as the Senior Global Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion Leader at Boeing. At Caleres, she leads the global initiatives for diversity and equity and inclusion. She has enjoyed a career in diversity. Okay, so Amy just coming there. Does that mean I should stop reading, Amy? Well, we'll give it up for Amy Hunter.
I was like, no. Hey, y'all. I'm so happy to be here for a number of reasons. I love women. I love people of color. It's a good day, right? And I love business owners. I was supposed to bring the words of encouragement, and I sat here, I was like, encouraged, right? So I've done everything I said I wouldn't do as an adult, just so you know. I've done everything my parents told me to do. I've done all of those things, and I said I wouldn't. So I've been a teacher, I've been a business owner, sometimes a comedian. I've worked in corporate America. I'm in politics. I said I would do none of these things. And I want to say one of the reasons why I love business owners is because they live their lives with courage. And so let's talk a little bit about courage, because we've had some uncertain times recently. COVID, right? We had a murder we all witnessed on TV, and we all had to keep going. And so when I think about what gets in our way about starting our own business, so I've been a business owner for 7 or 8 years now, yeah. And you act a little different when you work in corporate America, but you have a side hustle. I'm just saying. Because there's something about owning your own business, even if it's just an LLC that you do from time to time, that makes you feel a little bit more free. But in order to get free, you have to have courage. You have to radically be able to imagine something that's not yet been seen. And for that, I think entrepreneurs are believers. But let's talk about what gets in the way. The F word gets in the way a lot. Fear. Y'all thought I was going to curse. And so I think about all the ways in which fear gets in our way. And so I have some rules that I will share with you all that I use to navigate the fear. But I want to first say that we are born to lead. Children cry and advocate for themselves without an apology ever. It is within our DNA to be entrepreneurs. It's in our DNA to want to lead and be heard and seen and make a difference in the wide world. We are born brilliant and incredibly good. That is who we are. And then something happens. Fear often is one of the things that happens to us when we're small. And so I would encourage everyone in the room to inspire and encourage another person. And I would say a young person, except the person that I think of as my most courageous person is my grandmother, who got her first real job at 35. Now, that may not be significant because she was a mother and that was real too. But it taught me that you could change your mind and change your career at any point in your life. Like, it doesn't have to be your 20s. It doesn't even have to be when you're 30. You could just quit and do something else. But you have to have the courage to do that. So you guys are going to learn a lot about me. My grandpa was a Baptist preacher, so I won't keep y'all long. But I was a hurdler in high school. Okay, where are my track people? Okay, now y'all know at 5 feet what I might have looked like. So for the people who did not run track, my dad was a track person, and I told him I was going to be a hurdler. He said, oh, okay. I got to my first track meet, and those women were like 6 feet tall. Yeah. So think in your mind about running over a hurdle, like even in real life, running over a hurdle, For some people, they just had to lift that leg to get over the hurdle. They ran, they lifted the leg, they were over the hurdle. Not me. My whole body had to lift off the ground in order for me to get over the hurdle. I'm only 5 feet tall. Now, I was a good solid fourth. Obviously, I didn't make it to the Olympics. I had to figure out something else. But the point is, jump. Jump. Now, the benefit of not jumping when you're a hurdler is that you will get hurt. So I encourage us, instead of worrying about the pain, to go ahead and jump. It inspired me to jump out of an airplane at 14,000 feet in the air. I don't recommend that. People were like, it was great. I was like, nah. I was more like, oh my goodness, when I get down, I will never do this again. But at least I got to check it off my bucket list, right? And so when I think about how fear gets in our way, I want us to remember to jump. I have some rules that I use to navigate fear all the time and to be courageous. One is the rule of 5. So if this doesn't matter in 5 minutes, 5 days, 5 months, 5 years, it's not important. It's not important. What my hair looks like today, y'all not gonna remember that in 5 years. You're not. My son wore cowboy boots for an entire year at 5. You all don't remember that, do you? I do, but he doesn't, and nobody else does either. Doesn't matter. So if it doesn't matter in 5 years, it's not important. We can let those things go. The second one is, what do I have to lose? Starting an LLC, you could do it on the computer now. You have nothing to lose. Try it. Just start one. Greatly help your taxes, I might add, right? Start one. You have nothing to lose by putting it out there and making it so. So I encourage people to do that as well. The third one that I think about all the time, and I think about this all the time, my dad worked at the Minority Supplier Development Council. He was actually the head of the Minority Development Supplier Council when he died. And I only say that because I had no idea what my dad did until he died. He was 50. Like, I knew he went to work and I knew he helped minority companies, but like, I didn't get it. Actually, until like all these people came, and I was like, what did he do for a living? And my mother told me what he did for a living. I was all of 22. But it taught me a bunch of things. One of the things is, if I only live to 50, how do I want to live my life? So one of the things that I think about with courage is, if I died tomorrow, would I be okay? It's made me a nicer person, but it's also made me fearless, right? And so the if I died tomorrow thing made me jump out of that airplane, because I don't want to die not having jumped out of an airplane. Made me start my own business. Made me do a bunch of things before I was 50, just so you know, I made it to 50, y'all. I know, I was like, whew, all right, new goals. It makes you set new goals, but it also puts in perspective what your priorities are and what's really, really important to you. Family is the most important thing. The thing that I learned at my father's death at 50 is to live life with no regrets. He told all the people he loved them. He wasn't that guy who didn't say anything. Nah, he like rubbed your head and said, I love you all the time. Nobody was confused. Nobody was mistaken. He treated people so kindly that literally everybody thought they were his best friend. And I think it's interesting that he had something to do with minority-owned businesses in this moment, because isn't life funny how it comes full circle? Yeah. And so I would encourage us to walk in the sun, to dream more than we can dream, and for the people who are dreaming for us to listen to with all sincerity. It is actually possible your life can turn out better than you ever imagined it. But it can only happen if you jump. So I encourage you all to jump. Thank you. And Todd is going to give us closing remarks. See how well I did that? I work for a shoe company, so I encourage you all not to shout out your shoe size to me. I will not remember. But you can, and they're not free, but if you need a hookup, I got you. I got you all day long. All right. Hi. Thank you.
That's a size 14. Okay. So, we come to the end, and I want to thank you guys. But see, we never know what's waiting for us, and so we have Ms. Constant Jones. Constant is the director of the National Minority Supplier and Development Council, who has graced us with her presence. And I would be remiss at my event, at our event, that if you didn't say a little something and introduce yourself. This is a big deal in my world.
Thank you so much, Todd, and I'm going to be quick. I just want to say congratulations to everybody that's in the room. We heard some amazing stories today, and that tells you the resilience of entrepreneurship and especially women of color. You know, I am so excited to be here today in order to understand all the challenges and the issues and the resilience that you were able to demonstrate and show the economic impact that you put forth in our community. I just want to continue to encourage you to move forward. You know, one of the consistent questions that people kept asking was, why me? And I want to challenge you to say, why not me? Right? Why not be able to exhibit the change that I want to see today? Why not partner with everyone in our ecosystem to understand that growth for our community means growth for all, and that this is bigger than just where we are today? Why not show our future, our kids, our legacy, that there is real power in providing some of that resiliency and economic wealth that we have for our communities? So I just want to encourage you as you leave out of here today, continue to ask that question and be the change that you want to see. I love to see my children and our children actually look at us and say, you know, there is another way other than being an employee and or doing something that I really don't want to do, but I love to do. So I will end with that. Todd, thank you so much for the opportunity. NMSDC, of course, is focused on creating that economic wealth and inclusion for all minorities, but we are clearly seeing the development that are happening for our women entrepreneurs. And we just want to encourage you to keep moving forward, because we will continue to make the impact that we want to see. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you all for joining us for our second annual Tribute to Women Leaders, Business Leaders Brunch. If you have parked in the garage, at the desk as you leave out, at the registration table as you leave out, will be a pass. We pay for your garage parking. Okay, if you valeted, please come see me. I know we had the honorees valet, and we have that for you, for your honorees. One last thing, I would like to have the honorees come back up for one picture, if you don't mind, and then after this picture, this really closes us out. I want to thank you guys. I'm overwhelmed with the amount of participant we receive from our sponsorships to people wanting to get tickets. I woke up to this morning to text message, any more tickets left, and this and that. And it's amazing to me. We put this on together last year at the behest of the CEO and president of the Chicago Minority Supplier Development Council, said you should do something for women. And my staff got together and put something together really quickly. So I'd like to thank my committee, which consisted of Angelia, Anika Porter, Leslie Miller, Jamaica, yes, in the wrong time. Jamaica Smith, and also Clifton Clark, who is here from Houston, who is the IT guy. He is the guru for MBDA and supports us. He's here, and he was on the team as well. So I'd like to thank that team, and I'm gonna thank them later. But we had a phenomenal team. We have a phenomenal group of staff here, and I'm just excited that this went off the way it went off, and next year will be better. So at this time, let me close us out in prayer, and then we come up and take this picture. If that's okay, can I close out in prayer? Okay. Let's bow our head. Most gracious and heavenly Father, Father God, we thank you for another opportunity, Father God, to give you praise and honor. We thank you for all the women that were celebrated here today. We thank you, Father God, for just this wonderful event. Now we ask as we leave this place, but never your sight, Father God, that you protect and keep each one of us. Keep these businesses thriving, Lord. Keep the innovation of change on the cusp of their minds and their lips. And with that, Lord, in your Son's name, we ask and claim it. Amen.